Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be ranking the off-seasons for each AFC team prior to the draft. I'm basing this solely on who has improved their roster the most, and not focusing too much on the contracts, because I'm beginning to believe that the salary cap is a lie. We'll go from 16 to 1, so stick around to see who takes the top spot. If you enjoy NFL content, I'd appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing. Let's get into it. I want to start off by saying that as a whole, the AFC is having a much better offseason than the NFC. I'll do that video later, but on to the list. At 16, I don't think it should come as any real surprise, but our last place team is going to be the Houston Texans. They re-signed a couple veteran players, but after going 4-13, is that something you necessarily want to do? Trading away Watson had to happen, and maybe they'll turn those picks into something, but no talent to show for it yet. At 15, we have the New England Patriots. I like the Mack Wilson signing, but beyond that, there's just not much to speak of. That's fairly normal for the Patriots, though. They'll kill the draft and make the playoffs in all likelihood, but from a free agency standpoint, they just haven't improved their team significantly. Now it's going to start getting tougher. The next two teams have had decent off seasons to this point, with movement at the quarterback position. I'm putting one in front of the other because I like the quarterback choice better. So at 14, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got Mitchell Trubisky, who maybe they'll turn into a star. I really like the Miles Jack signing, and they got a good corner in Levi Wallace. That leaves the other team that I was considering at 14, the Indianapolis Colts. I still don't understand why they traded Wentz after what they gave up to get him, but they got a decent amount in return. I just like Matt Ryan more than Trubisky, and signing Ngakoue is a great pickup for the already strong defense. At 12, I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs. Juju is a fine addition, but let's not act like he's going to be able to pick up where Tyreek left off. He's only had one 1,000-yard season in his career. Beyond that, re-signing Orlando Brown was very important. I want to be clear that from this point on, I like what they've done for the most part, but I'm ranking, so someone has to be ahead of the rest. Up next, at 11, the Jaguars. They have signed a lot of players, but I don't know if they're all home runs. They signed Christian Kirk to a massive contract, I might add, but DJ Chark has left the building. Brandon Sheriff is great when healthy, and Evan Ingram has never performed to his ceiling, so I guess we'll see where it goes. Here at 10, we have the Ravens. Marcus Williams is a great get, and Morgan Moses will be able to start at right tackle day one. They let a couple good players make it to free agency, but we'll see if they re-sign. Calais Campbell in particular would be nice to have back. It is really difficult right now to separate these teams. Let me know how you'd change the rankings in the comments. So at 9, I'm going to put the Titans. They made a great move to get Robert Woods. He should be a better option than Julio Jones was last year. And Jamarco Jones is a serviceable offensive tackle to help protect Tannehill as well. Austin Hooper to me is a little bit overrated, but maybe he just needed a better quarterback. At 8, I'll put the Browns. I can't comfortably put them any higher until we know if Watson will play and if he's the same level player he was when he was in Houston. If he isn't suspended, and he is as electric as before, regardless of the insane money they're giving him, they move up to the top 3 for sure. But for now, they're at 8. Oh yeah, they got Amari Cooper too. Good snag. Next up at 7 is the New York Jets. Laken Tomlinson is a great signing because they definitely needed O-line help. Uzama will be a good safety blanket for Wilson, and they improved their secondary. Can't wait to see what they do with their draft picks. Moving on to 6, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. It's hard to improve a ton when you just went to the Super Bowl, but they got help on the O-line in Lael Collins and Alex Kappa. Desperately needed that. Nothing sexy, but they didn't need offensive playmakers because they already got them. This brings us to the Las Vegas Raiders. I did make a video stating that they would win the Super Bowl this year, and I stand by it. I absolutely love them adding Devontae Adams and Chandler Jones, plus Rock Ya-Sin is an underrated defensive back. Still need linebacker help, but that might come later. At 4, I'll go with the Miami Dolphins. They shot up the board after adding Tyreek Hill, and even though I was skeptical that he could be good with Tua, hearing from head coach Mike McDaniel that he wants to use Hill like Deebo Samuel, I'm interested. They also added Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, and Cedric Wilson. Speed everywhere. We'll see how it goes. Into the top 3. Here I'm going to pick the Buffalo Bills. They signed Von Miller, who fits the Buffalo culture, Tim Settle and Shaq Lawson as well for D-line help, and they also added O.J. Howard at tight end, who might actually reach his potential. I'm really excited to see this team this year. It was really tough choosing between the top 2, but I'm going to have to put the Broncos here. You can't go from Drew Lock to Russell Wilson and not be in the top 5. Add in Randy Gregory, and you have greatly improved both sides of the ball. So at 1, of course, we have the Chargers. Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson are expensive, but they should immediately lift the defense that held back an electric offense last year. They re-signed Mike Williams, which was so important, and brought in Gerald Everett, who doesn't even have to move. Great offseason for the Bolts. So that wraps up our rankings of the best offseason thus far for the AFC. If we get 10 likes on this video, I'll do the NFC. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to get new NFL videos every Monday and Friday. I'll see y'all next time.